Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Christmas Universe here as we're here to do a review of the Top of the Pops Christmas special. Yes, we're going to continue doing some Top of the Pops Christmas special reviews this year like we've done last year in the Christmas Universe. And we're going to start our Top of the Pops Christmas look backs with an episode from 1977, which, funny enough, BBC4 actually showed last Christmas, and it might probably get a repeat this year. We're not too sure, but if it does, we'll definitely leave a link to the page if you want to, just keep it bookmarked just in case it ends up showing up on BBC4 again this year. Chances are there might be a possibility there. Nevertheless, the 1977 Top of the Pops, this is an episode that was hosted by David Kit Jason and Noel Edmonds being the two presenters at the time who were responsible for giving us a lowdown of the year's music events and music in general. And of course, for those of you who don't know what Top of the Pops is, essentially it was a big music hit, basically a very popular music show for the BBC where they were covering all the musics in the charts, and the BBC did this show from the 50s all the way to roughly the early noughties when the show finished its weekly series. The Christmas specials have been going on basically since the end of the 60s. We started seeing Christmas specials being made for Top of the Pops, and Top of the Pops had been a tradition for Christmas Day until recently when they decided to move away from the Christmas Day scene. Nevertheless, Top of the Pops is still remembered as a very popular show for Christmas Day by a lot of people, and 1997 it was still on Christmas Day at the time, and we're about to go through some of the musics that were featured in that special. If you're I'm pretty sure most who probably recognize that year will probably remember some of these hits that I'm about to mention. So the show opens up, Shua Diwadi. Yeah, I'm glad I pronounced that right because I thought I wasn't going to get that right, but there you go. They did a song called You Got What It Takes. This was one of their big hits for the year, a number one hit in 1977. So this was a big hit for them at the time. I'm pretty sure people probably who will probably recognize that song. And then we have Denny Williams, a female artist, Dency Williams, who did her song Free. I'm sure people will recognize that tune. And in fact, you can watch this episode, in fact, on YouTube. So I'll put a link to YouTube if you want to see the full thing. But yeah, it is really lovely song Free. Very cozy and very relaxing. I have listened to it quite a lot. It's actually quite a nice, relaxing song, funny enough. Very, very cozy song. I'll give it that. And then we have the floor dance, which is presented, obviously performed by the Bridge House and Ratchstick Band, who are the performers of the Flora Dance. And then, of course, we come to Emerson, Lake, and Plummer, which are basically three male artists who love to do instruments. They did a song called Fanfare, The Common Man, which is essentially just them playing instruments for a tune, and that was a very popular song at the time. And then we have Leo Saylor, who you may recognize for some tunes back in the 70s. This was one of his successful tunes of 1977 called When I Need You. That was one of his big hits at the time. And then we have the Manhattan Transfer with Chance and Diarma, which was one of their big hits, group's big hits of the year. And then we come to Hot Chocolate, who were also made their debut that year. So You Win Again, which was one of their early records before they did the whole when they started to embrace the sexy thing tune in the 80s, which was a big hit for them. And then David Soul comes next with Don't Give Up on Us. That was his big tune of the year. Then eventually we get to ABBA, who are doing the song Knowing Me, Knowing You, Knowing Me, being their big hit, or Knowing Me, Knowing You. However you want to interpretate it, that is ABBA, very famous group of the 70s, of course. And then we have Space with the music Magic Fly, which was a very unusual performance because they looked like they were astronauts and aliens at the same time. Just thought that was a bit of coincidence. And then they repeated a performance from last Christmas, which the Christmas number one from the year before, which was Johnny Matthews' When a Child is Born, which was the number one that started the year and was the Christmas number one of 76. So it was great to see that performance in there. And then eventually it comes to Stevie Wonder's big hit, Sir Duke. Man, this tune is so fun. The tune he does here for Stevie Wonder, very danceable song, I'll admit. And then we come to Kenny Rogers with his hit Lucia, Loosely, which is his big tune of that year. And then we have Bouquet with Yes Sir, I Can Boogie All Night Long, as they say. I just thought I'd put that in there because that's what they say in the song. But yeah, it was basically a woman duo group that sung that song in the 70s. It was a big hit, and then it eventually ends with the Christmas #1 of that year being Paul McCartney and the Wing, Bull of King Tyre. Beautiful song, isn't it? Tune. That was the Christmas #1 of 1977. The song that ended that year. Yeah, you can't really get enough of that, can you? The whole Paul McCartney getting the Christmas #1 of 1977 with the Wings, with Bull of King Tyre. That's Paul McCartney's big second, basically his second Christmas #1 of that year. And then, of course, we come to the end. Surprisingly enough, they actually ended the show with a classic Christmas hits, Bing Crosby's White Christmas. Yeah, they actually ended the song with the iconic Bing Crosby and White Christmas. And I think the reason they did that was mainly because of the reports at the time about his passing. And I'm pretty sure he passed away in 1977. It was because of that they decided to pay a tribute to him in the Christmas special by putting his iconic tune White Christmas at the very end as a way to pay tributes to Bing Crosby, considering he probably passed away during that year and they wanted to pay tributes to him during Christmas, which is very understandable. So yeah, so that's essentially what they did with the Christmas special. It was roughly 50 minutes where they gave us 50 minutes worth of great hits from the 70s. Most of them were #1 hit that eventually included the year before's Christmas #1, that, and of course the new Christmas #1 being Wings and Mule of King Tyre being the #1 Christmas #1 of 77. And then of course a lovely little tribute to and his iconic White Christmas to pay homage to following his passing. So yeah, really lovely way to spend Christmas, I think, with Top of the Pops. I think they did a really good job in 1977. I think this was the year they did a two-parter, or I think they did a couple of two-parter Christmases in the 70s. So I think you could mistake it as like a two-parter, but no, it was basically just a regular like Christmas episode, a normal traditional Christmas episode with just the one episode on Christmas Day. Some episodes of the 70s did air between Christmas Day and Boxing Day. So there's that. That is pretty much what happened in the Top of the Pops Christmas special for 1977, where they pay homage to pay tributes to Bing Crosby. Paul McCartney was on top of the hill with the Christmas #1 that year, and also so many different songs that made up the end of the basically made up that whole 77, the year of 1977. So many great tunes from that year, as you can tell. Nothing really much else to say, but if you want to check the episode out, there'll be a link in the description, and stay tuned because I will be doing some more Top of the Pops Christmas special reviews, and we'll sort of have a chance to look at some other Christmas episodes from Top of the Pops' past as we prepare for their potential review of the year that's coming out later this during Christmas potentially. So thanks for watching and enjoy your day, and I'll see you all in the next one. There's no